Introduction to Project Management. In this training module, we will present the basic concepts of project management. We will talk about how to apply these concepts in BIC projects. We will look at some examples, and all of this will help prepare you for a quiz that will be taken at the end of the module. Project management is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to activities and tasks to achieve a successful project outcome. Some special characteristics of a project is that it is temporary, in that it has a defined beginning and end time with a defined scope and available resources, and a project is also unique in that it is not just routine work, but a specific activity designed to accomplish a goal. A project team often includes people who don't usually work together. At the BIC, we work on a variety of projects from race cars to chemical-powered vehicles to concrete canoes. In each of these projects, they typically start in the fall and are completed in the spring when competitions occur. This leaves only a few months and weeks to complete the work, and managing time and resources is critical to achieving a successful result. Here's an overview of the 5 stages of project management from concept to project close. We will be focusing on a few of these items most applicable to our projects at the BIC. And more information is available on any of these topics. For most of our projects, the charter and scope are covered by the competition rules. Budgeting is a separate BIC activity. So we'll be focusing on work breakdown structures, Gantt charts, risk, and tracking. A work breakdown structure is a hierarchical decomposition of the total scope of work to be carried out by the project team to achieve a successful project outcome. Here's a generic template and view of a work breakdown structure. The project title is shown at the top. Major activities are shown at level 2, and subtasks for each one of these are shown at level 3. We continue decomposing until enough detail of the project is captured. We should be able to look at a work breakdown structure and see a hierarchical view of all the major activities and tasks needed to successfully complete our project. Blank template forms for work breakdown structures are available at the website shown. One of our competition teams is Concrete Canoe, and here's a sample work breakdown structure for their annual project work. The tasks here specify what needs to happen to successfully complete the project. We can see that it includes 14 second-level tasks, and while some of these include building the canoe itself, there are other tasks included such as recruiting students to the team, fundraising, and report writing. As noted, the work breakdown structure represents what needs to happen to complete the project without any detail yet on who needs to complete the work and when it needs to be accomplished. The information on the work breakdown structure can be used to construct a Gantt chart by placing the tasks identified on the left with a calendar timeline across the chart. For each task, the resources required to complete that task, the duration of the task, and the timing of the task relative to the other tasks are identified. A wide range of tasks should be included when developing a work breakdown structure in Gantt chart. Some of these include team issues and other administrative tasks. The Gantt chart provides a very complete overview of the project, including the early start tasks, tasks that can happen concurrently, tasks that must happen sequentially, and fixed duration tasks that take a certain amount of time no matter what resources are applied. In addition to showing the planned duration of tasks and the overall project plan, the actual project progress can be recorded on the project as it's running. Here we have light blue for planned and darker blue for actual progress. Microsoft Project is a nice software package for doing project planning. There's a bit of a learning curve for getting started with it, but it offers a nice way to list tasks and subtasks, identify dates and durations, and indicate what resources, including people, equipment, or other resources, are assigned to each task. It can also track project progress and enable the project manager to make adjustments during the course of the project. An important part of project management is assessing risk. There are multiple types of risk, and the risk of just not completing the project task is an important one. Sometimes we have tasks that are just very complex or ones where we don't have any previous experience. The figure shows that complex tasks where we have little experience have the highest risk associated with them. We can use this type of scheme to identify the lower and high risk tasks in our project. Tasks on the critical path should also be monitored as high risk. If any of these tasks are not completed on time, the project completion time is also delayed. Here we see tasks in red are on the critical path. They are sequential and define the project duration. The tasks in blue can slip or be moved around and not really impact the overall project completion date. How do we mitigate risk when we have identified high-risk tasks? Well, we can do several things. We can apply more or our best resources to them. We can try to redesign that element to a lower level of risk. We can seek external help or a consultant. And we can study first and identify the high-risk areas and develop a backup plan. What are some of the common things that come up during competition projects that contribute to problems and lack of overall success? Well, here we have 5. The overall project plan is too ambitious, it's too complex or involves too high of a skill level, resources may not be available, no time planned for rework, no time available for testing, and what works out is the actual project duration is greater than the plan, so we end up at a time crunch at the end. The resources that we sometimes need that may not be available include people, time, equipment, space, and budget. Projects start to go off track when actual task durations are longer than planned durations in the earlier middle part of the project. The year starts on a positive note, but students get busy as the year progresses and just don't put in as many hours on the project. There's often enough slack or extra resources available to get back on track in the middle and later parts of the project, so as final deadlines approach, extra hours are put in, corners are cut, and tasks are skipped. In our experience of observing competition teams at the BIC, success in competition is usually traced back to effective project management, having time for testing, and avoiding the time crunch at the end. Testing takes place throughout the project and not just at the end, so testing should be built into the plan for subcomponents, subsystems, and the final system when it's finally all put together. So what are the key points to achieving success in project management? First, make a plan. Just writing it all down is a good first step. Consider tasks and resources, with resources including people, equipment, and budget. Understand that students get busy at various times in the year. Plan for testing throughout the project at the various levels from subcomponents to the final system. Analyze risk and determine the high-risk tasks. If high-risk tasks are found, take steps to reduce the risk through actions on resources or redesigns. Make backup plans. Plan for the unexpected and have backup plans if certain tasks or system modules cannot be completed on time. Track progress. It's great to make the plan in the first place, but also use it to track progress and keep track of the project being ahead or behind schedule. If the project is behind schedule, avoid the time crunch. Take action to get back on track while still leaving time for testing at the end. This training module has presented an introduction to the basic concepts of project management. Completion of the quiz with a score of 85% or higher will indicate that you have successfully completed this module.